5 times. Okay. And now, of course, it's polyphonic in the sequencer, so I can play chords in there as well. And again, my hands are now free to do what I want. So the sequence is really useful in there as well. Now, I have got, one last one to show. I promise. I'm going to go back to a basic patch again. Let's get that up. I'm going to make a nice bass patch, hopefully. Put that up an octave. Okay, so we've also got unison in here. Now at the minute I can play a chord. That sounds too much for that chord, I think. But what I do want to do is maybe just take that and just beef it up a little bit. And the unison button, which we have here, your chair may be falling to pieces. Put the unison on here, and now I can't play a chord. I can only play a single note at this point. Okay, we're in unison, it's a mono synth. But at this point, I'm just listening to one of the oscillators. But I have one of the voices, and I have 5 voices in here. So if I press and hold unison, then I can add maybe the second one in. I don't know if you can hear that, it's a little bit bigger. 3. And then I'll add them all in, all 5. It's a big sound. But now if I use the vintage control here, vintage is a way, because this is an analog synth and it has broken tunings and stuff like that in the old times, but we're in 2025, it's using analog circuits to produce the sound, but of course the parts that we're using today are not the same parts as 1978. So they're a lot more precise and in tune. And at this point, those analog oscillators sound pretty much perfectly in tune here. But if I use the vintage knob, I can dial in errors to the sound. So let's see, hopefully this will work. You can hopefully hear that that's a bit bigger. If I just open up the filter a little bit. That's without. That's with. So you just get a bigger kind of more analog-y, in inverted commas, because of course it's analog, but it's got that more kind of traditional analog sound. And the last thing that I quite enjoy with this is, I keep saying the last thing, right, if I hold a chord and press unison, now I have the chord on a single finger, and I think this is really nice. Nice kind of old house kind of style. Bit of reverb on there, of course. And maybe sequence it. Randomly. Well, I didn't get it in time. I didn't do enough beats there to get a nice straight rhythm, but if I had a drum machine and I had that sequence and time, got a track perhaps. So yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, I mean I had a lot of fun talking to you about it. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody want me to talk about anything else, or just want me to shut up now? Does anybody have any questions about what? Yeah, of course, yeah. What do I think about Daft Punk? Yeah. I think they're fantastic. Their music is not really my kind of music so much these days, but what those guys did in 1992, 93, back in those days, it's Discovery and Around the World, There was no music like it at that time, and they were punks as well. I liked that. And they made those albums in their bedroom using a TR-909 from Roland and some other synths, and just made some incredible music. And then you go through to the to the last album, which is spectacular when you listen to it. So cleverly made and so well made. Yeah, I think they're amazing. Yeah, but if you ask me what I think about what this gentleman's T-shirt says, that's a different story. He's my idol.
Apex Twin.
Yeah.
Apex.
Aphex Twin. Yeah, he's my hero. And we made with the Novation, we made a bass station with him called the AFX station.
It was
And yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. They say don't meet your heroes, but no, yeah, I had to meet him. So yeah, we did the AFX station. That was a proud moment for me. But yeah, anyway, yeah, there we go. TO5, and hopefully a little bit as well about these instruments. We didn't really go too deep on these, but hopefully it just gives you a sense of what they're about as well. And of course, the TO5 is the newbie. I believe they're arriving with you next week. Is it
Next week.
Yeah, they're going to be here next week in the
Few
schools.
will be X8 with keyboard,
Okay.
and TO5 is arriving next week. But for all other sequentials, right now we have stock.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, cool. Any more questions? No.
May I?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
First of all, thank you very much for this event.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's very nice to see you here.
Thank you.
Maybe I have two questions, but the second one is very specific, not about
Okay.
these devices.
Yeah. Okay.
First of all, maybe you have mentioned already, I missed it, how many channels you can record on this device?
How many channels?
Yes.
So this is outputting stereo, a left and right signal. This doesn't record. It's a synthesizer. It's not.
Maybe wrong question.
Okay.
You played chords.
Yes.
How many?
How many notes?
No. How many channels? How many?
So is there an over record
Yes.
on the sequencers?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the groove box.
Yeah.
Novations.
No, it's a single line sequence, but you can do some interesting things. Let me go back to a non-unison patch. Yeah, that's not a good example. Let's go to. I'll try this. So we have a keyboard running there now, and if I.
You're overdubing.
So I can play over that. I can't record into that again now though. Once I've recorded my sequence, it's a step sequencer. So if I hit record, my screen now, you may see this, I don't know, it says now current step number 1. So I put some notes in here. I'll play a chord. Okay, now I can maybe tie to make it longer, and maybe add a rest to put a space there, and then another chord, maybe tie, rest, and then tie, and then maybe some individual notes. Okay, and now, so I've added those 16 steps in, but I can't now record over the top of this, but what I can do is